What's up? Jesse Listens Fields here. Yet we're here again, healthy, loving relationship. And how on earth do you respond to your man after you done had that heated argument? This separates the men from the boys, the women from the girls, right? And honestly, communication is perhaps one of the most critical skills you have to master if you have any hopes of your relationship thriving and having that healthy, loving relationship that you desire and deserve. But before we get into it, make sure you hit like, subscribe, comment below. Definitely hit that notification bell so you can be notified of all of our videos the moment they are uploaded. Now, let's get into it. First of all, whatever you've been doing, chances are it ain't working, right? Because when we're having that argument with our loved one, we so want to get out every word, right? We just want to be heard. We're not being heard by our significant other, and we want to get our point across, and it's funny, right? As soon as they raise their voice a little bit, you raise your voice a little bit, they raise their voice in a little bit, and although you love each other, before you even realize it, heaven forbid, it becomes a shouting match, right? So we don't want to get there. So how do we avoid going from a 0 to 100 real quick, right? Well, there's a technique called the S.T.O.P.P technique, which is S.T.O.P.P, right? And it's a dialectical behavioral therapy technique where individuals use to deal with their emotions. But this technique is also very effective when it comes to dealing with relationships. And this is going to be an absolute must for you, for your relationship, especially when it comes to communicating with your man, right? So the first thing you do, you upset, right? He done did something wrong, or you think he done did something wrong, but no matter what, you got a beef with him, right? So you just got to get out what you need to say, right? And when you notice the volume's going up, right? You notice the energy is going up. First of all, you have to stop. You absolutely have to stop, because this is the thing. When we're getting emotionally charged, the logic goes out the window. We don't think straight. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to put your foot in your mouth. You're going to end up saying something that you will regret later. So the first thing you have to do, you must do, is stop, right? And then once you stop, whatever you were doing, whatever you were about to say, you have to take a step back. So wherever you're at, whatever space in which you're in with your significant other, it's very important that you back on up, right? You have to take a step back. So if you're trying to solve that problem right then and there, come to an agreement and say, maybe, babe, this ain't the right time to really process this. I'm feeling emotionally charged. Let's get back to this at another time. So you want to take a step back, right? Because the issue ain't going nowhere and your man ain't going nowhere. So it's okay to step away for a little bit, right? Give yourself some emotional space, right? Give yourself some physical space. Because sometimes when our significant other is in our face, it can be triggering, especially when we're having a difficult discussion. So give yourself some emotional and physical space to yourself, right? And when you've given yourself that space, now you have to observe, right? Now you're given an opportunity for your emotions to cool on down and your logic to come back fully into play, right? And you must observe. You must say, okay, it's not simply about what we're arguing about, but what led to the argument. That's how you observe. You might say to yourself, what am I really upset at, right? Am I upset that he didn't do the dishes, right? Or am I upset at something that happened earlier on during the day, right? Is it really a beef between me and him? Or maybe it's an issue going on with some stuff I'm messing around with emotionally, right? So you have to observe, right? right? And when you observe, actually pay attention to what you find, right? And you might surprise yourself, and you might find out that, hey, maybe it ain't even a beef with my man at all, and maybe it's something that happened beforehand, right? So once you observe, and only after you fully and clearly observe, and you take the time to calm down, then you want to plan, right? So in terms of planning, literally, if need be, put pencil to paper and map out perhaps what you want to say, right? Because when we're in the midst of it, all of it sounds good. But if you actually put it down on paper and plan and say, you know what, there's so much going on, but if I can get point one down, if I want to express how I'm feeling in this regard, and if I want to impress this point, then I'm good, right? So now that you have a plan, you can actually go back to your man with some type of agenda, right? And it actually takes the pressure off, because you know going into it that I already know what I would like to say, and I'm not just going off raw emotion. So after you observe and you plan, you proceed mindfully, right? You strategize and say, okay, maybe we can get together at such and such time, and we agree to speak to this specific duration of time, right? Because this is the thing. The longer you tend to talk about an issue, the bigger the issue gets, right? So when you go to your significant other and you say, this is an agreed time that we can discuss this topic, and then after that we're said and done and we can go on making love, he gonna be for that, right? He's gonna be all for that, trust me. So have an agreed time, plan, proceed mindfully, focused on the matter at hand. And this is something that me and my wife, we do. We say to ourselves, listen, we only going to talk about this for 15 minutes, and we're only going to talk about what's been happening within the last month and a half, right? Because let's keep it real, right? Whether it be you or your man, chances are one of you like to go all the way back, like weeks and months, and bringing up past stuff, right? Stuff that no longer has anything to do with what's going on in the here and now. So agree with your spouse, your significant other, to say, we're only going to focus on what's been happening for this amount of duration of time, right? So there you have it. You want to stop. Take a step back. Observe. Plan. And then proceed mindfully. I'm telling you, you incorporate this in your communication with your man, boom. Your relationship is going to take off to new heights that you never even imagined could happen before. So if you want more information just like this, jump on to healthylovingrelationship.com, because it's there where I show you how to stop being taken for granted and actually receive that very love and appreciation you desire from your man. So until next time, take care of yourself. Hope you appreciated this message. Peace.